Guys, it actually happened. Ashley Barnes just dropped an apology video, too, actually, and she really gets into the situation, claiming a lot of people lied.
A lot of people were complaining as to why I haven't said anything online about the allegations being made against me, and there were multiple reasons for this.
And the reactions from people that formally spoke out are very, very interesting. It is strange because multiple responses have been deleted, some haven't. It's really just gotten more confusing than ever.
It's crazy to see how quick you guys switch up because everybody's been commenting on my page and it's looking been crazy.
The response may not have actually backfired for Ashley. People are switching up on the people that formally spoke out. As you can see, as Capri, one of the people that talked about the situation, is now getting a lot of hate. There is a ton of stuff to get into, so let's get into it. But first, here I am wearing the Coco Crazy merch, where if you click on the link in the description and purchase a sweatshirt or t-shirt, the profits go directly to a Palestinian family. Click on the link in the description. Every purchase makes me smile because I know that it's getting more food and supplies for Mustafa and his 2 toddlers. The pricing is very reasonable and it is very, very comfortable. I promise you, because I've worn it. So, as most of us know, it happened about a month ago, so Ashley did take an entire month to drop her response, but I believe she does explain why that occurred, and a bunch of people spoke out about how she was pressuring them and trying to get them to take things so she could take advantage of them. And there's a lot of different people, dozens of people have talked about their experience with her and how she did pretty disturbing stuff to them. I hope this is my last video on this situation because I am tired of talking about it, but I feel like it's only fair to everyone to talk about major updates because we have not heard Ashley really at all except to this point finally, so it's only fair to show this major update. So as we all know, she dropped a response pretty recently and the reactions are insane. They're either like kind of siding with her or they're absolutely against her like they always were before, but a lot of people have switched up. Now let's see how my comments look after this. Let's look at the clip.
I will be reading off my computer because this is a complex and sensitive situation, and I want to make sure that my words are chosen carefully. I know people are already getting ready to clip this and analyze my behavior, but I want to say that I am not sitting here trying to act in any certain way to persuade your opinion at all.
This is a re-upload, I believe, because her account was taken down. It's been taken down like 5 times, so it'll probably be up soon. I don't know why it's been taken down so many times. Same with Capri's. His got taken down multiple times. Hers, it's something to do with mass reporting, I'm guessing, if I had to guess. And Capri, I'm not sure how that got taken down. There's a lot of theories around it, but yeah, you have to watch the re-upload.
Also, keep in mind that I do need to change the wordings of certain things or be careful with what I say because of guidelines. My intention with this video is not to victimize myself, minimize my actions, pass blame, or gain sympathy from the public. My intention with this video is only to try to help. Before listening to the rest of this, I ask you to keep an open mind and understand that everyone involved is a human being who does not just exist on your phone. I also ask that you keep in mind majority of us, including myself, are still minors.
Something that scares me about this situation is that so many people talked about her being inappropriate with them that it is definitely possible that some are just jumping on the clout train. And if she can prove in this video that one person was lying, then some people are going to take the idea that everyone was lying and run with it. You get what I mean? Obviously, there were lots of people that were very, very likely, allegedly for obvious reasons, but very, very likely victims of her, but some obviously could have just made up something, and if she has proof against that, it's going to make a lot of people go, oh, well, they're probably all lying.
A lot of people were complaining as to why I haven't said anything online about the allegations being made against me, and there were multiple reasons for this. I wanted to handle this situation maturely and deal with it how it should be dealt with offline. Also, I was off my phone for a while because I was inpatient at rehab, which is something that I had to push to get myself into. I wanted to make sure that enough changes had been made to ensure that I don't fall back into old habits or that all of this was for nothing.
I will give her some credit. While it isn't enough to, obviously fix what she's done or what she's allegedly done, that is a step in the right direction because a lot of people were saying, hey, you need help, and she actually did it. She didn't think she was above it. So I will be honest, this is a good thing to start with.
The situation is heavily layered and unfortunately was being treated only as a way to gain clout or hop on a trend rather than being handled for what it really was. Many inaccurate terms are being thrown around to describe events that do not live up to such titles. I'm not about to sit here on video and disprove the many people who have just blatantly lied on my name in order to gain clout. Although I haven't seen every single thing posted about me, I have seen names of people who I've never met claiming that they are a victim of me.
Like I said, I'm willing to bet a lot of people are going to switch up on everyone because yes, for sure, because there were so many people talking about it. It is likely some people lied about knowing her, lied about some events. I'm sure that's what happens with every major situation, but that doesn't disprove the real events that actually occurred.
I ask you guys not to believe every single thing that you see online because unfortunately the truth is often the least popular narrative and the things that people will do for likes is insane. I do have information such as screenshots, voice memos, and documents that I could share to clear my name from many and multiple of the allegations made against me, and it would help clear the air through different fabricated stories and lies. To do so, sharing this information would require me to publicly post about the actions of other minors involved in these situations. I hesitate to do that because my intention with this video is not to bring any of the public harassment which I or anyone related to me has received in the past month onto other people. Also, unfortunately, a lot of this has become he said, she said situations where people saw how much attention the original creator got and decided to make up or twist their own stories to gain attention. I'm not gonna lie, I definitely have considered a version of this where I dragged everyone down with me and called them out for the misinformation they spread. I know that this is probably a version that the internet would like better because you guys are fiending for answers.
Okay, we get it. Thank you. You can show the evidence. Like, I don't care. If someone lies on your name, I don't care how old they are. You can show the evidence. But it's weird that she's like, oh, well, I don't really want to do it. And also talk about what happened that night. Can we talk about all your accusations? She's just kind of dancing around it and being like the hero in this situation already. I just want her to get into the actual situation instead of being like, yeah, some people lied about me. Yeah, sorry, those people are awful, but people do that in literally every viral situation. Doesn't make it right, but it doesn't automatically make you in the right. There's still people that you need to actually disprove. Everyone lies on people's names. Yes, you were a very popular topic. In fact, this like AI chatbot app, she was the #1 like request to talk to, which is so creepy and weird. But I saw that on TikTok. What? She's 17 and people were like typing her name in to chat with her, which is, yeah, I don't even know what they want to talk about, but it was very weird.
But I'm dealing with something so sensitive, it felt only right for at least one person in the situation to care more about the reality of it rather than the appeal of the internet. I want to do the right thing starting now, even if it's at the expense of myself. I will, however, point out a couple of the lies that I think will cause the least amount of harm to other people involved in this because I do not wish for this to be a continuous chain of posting back and forth videos about it. But I do, however, need to protect myself. Claiming that I am some longtime villain and mastermind who only made her platform to make victims is incredibly inaccurate and takes away the reality of any situations.
What's annoying me is she hasn't even said like the word SA yet. Like, I have a feeling, I could be wrong, but I have a feeling that her dad or someone might have wrote this because, I mean, it was a smart way to start it out, like dancing around the situation, making herself seem like kind of the hero in the situation. Yeah, I'm not going to show the evidence. I'm not going to expose the people being liars, but there's a lot of people lying about me, guys, so they're probably all lying about me. Everyone's just lying and trying to hop on my name. It does seem like it was made by someone older, but maybe she made this herself. I don't know. Some people are saying she ChatGPT'd it. I don't think she ChatGPT'd it. It doesn't sound like ChatGPT, but I did see that.
Unfortunately, the truth is I was in a serious problem for the majority of this year. There were many, many instances in which professionals tried to get the people who cared for me to take action, but no such action was pursued. I had gotten to the point where I was drinking water, and taking substances someone handed me every single day. My intentions weren't to have fun, they were to be unborn, let's say.
Okay, this is probably a hot take that's going to make people mad, but that isn't like an excuse. If you do something after taking, you know what, you do something like you drive under something, you take something and you drive and you hit someone, I don't, like, sorry if you're taking it because your mom died a year ago, but like you still ended someone's life. Like, you can't use this as an excuse for your actions against other people. Like, once again, I am sorry, but that does not act as an excuse for what your actions are after you take the thing.
Guidelines. I've spent the majority of this year living in a constant state of paranoia and mania because of how much pressure my job and the side effects of overusing my medication had gotten to me. I have been living in an altered state of reality for far too long, which affected not only my safety, but the safety of people around me. I started being unable to remember things or partake in any basic function way back in May, and I'm pretty sure I started using back in February, if not then it was early March. Many days early in this year, I would sit on the floor of my kitchen completely alone, but surrounded by people who were in my head. I would be absolutely terrified, so I would call a friend and I would ask them to hang out because I was so scared of being on my own. I would jokingly say that my friends were babysitting me because, quite frankly, what I needed at the time was a parent. I told a lot of the people around me about how bad my hallucinations and the voices were getting. I was very open online with how little I could sleep, but because I had chosen to surround myself with other people who used or people who did not care for my safety at all, I carried on in this state. There were multiple professionals who tried to get my parent to step it up and help me. After my attempt back in April, which if you know me as a person, you would know how against my character that is, I was begged to go to the ER and be admitted to a psych ward. But obviously that didn't happen because in most cases, social media came first.
I don't know. I just feel like she should touch on the situation and what she's been accused of and then give her perspective and then talk about the background to it like this. Like, yeah, guys, I was taking stuff because of this and this and this. I don't know. I just feel like I have a feeling she's not going to touch on it at all. Like, she's not going to touch on the SA allegations at all. Like, she's just not going to touch on it.
I wish I could explain how I existed in such a state for so long. I would like to mention, though, that the way people are depicting the series of events are inaccurate and dramatized simply for the appeal of shock factor and extra clicks. I apologize that I decided to take too many things, and I apologize for making anybody uncomfortable. But when you start exaggerating or changing details of the events that occurred to make yourself look better or run from your own bad decisions, that is where I lack sympathy for you. I'm going to clear up a couple of the lies. To start, I never forced anybody or lied about what substance I was giving someone, and I never actually gave out my prescribed medication to anyone. I have also never taken legal action against anyone.
Well, we definitely knew the legal action one. That's Natalie Reynolds. She does that with every single situation, and people buy it every time. I don't know how, but remember with Brooke Monk, she claimed Brooke Monk was suing her and somehow never showed the paper, just showed a letter. And then, of course, to milk every situation, she did that again with this situation to draw the attention towards herself. She was like, yeah, Ashley's suing me. I mean, she does this. She's so lazy. She'll just do the same copy-paste thing with every drama, and it somehow works.
I don't know why people who I cared for and trusted would lie so directly online, but I think that switching up details helps this storyline about my character that they are creating. I wish that during the end of the relationship I wasn't using, but I can never undo that. To this person, I apologize. I seriously do for sharing so much of our relationship online, and I do take full responsibility for that. Another thing that I want to bring up is one of the people who is claiming to be a victim of me, who's lying like many others. I have screenshots and messages of her admitting that she liked me. We used to be friends, but I stopped talking to her because it made me uncomfortable when she admitted that she liked me. She was 20 and I was 71, flip it around. I bring this up because this is something that the other people who have released story times upon me know for a fact happened, and they support her. This proves that they do not care about the legitimacy of any stories, just as long as they further drag my name down. Also, another creator claims that I paid a certain amount of money to ban their account, and this is something that made a lot of people upset, to which I would like to say I have never paid to ban this creator's account. My manager has even said that he acknowledged that the ban was not because of me, but because he was getting clout off the situation, he was going to continue pretending that it was. Certain people were also willing to lie about things that have happened because they share guilt. They use me as a way to dodge their own mistakes. I'll give an example. One individual is claiming that all the flirting was on my side and they wouldn't do anything because they have a girlfriend. I hate to admit this, and I do apologize for getting with someone who is single, but this person had, in their own words, quote, happily gotten with me while being involved with their current partner.
I will give Ashley credit where it's due. She is right on the account banning thing. Capri was literally just like lying about that for clout. In his response, he literally admits that he was just doing it for likes, which is annoying because he was one of the people that spoke out about what she did to him. And then, sure, it's not really that important, but he did lie. Let's see the response quick.
So when my account got unbanned, I posted a video basically saying, why did you pay $3,000 if I'm just going to get my account back? I knew there was a slim chance that she didn't do it, but honestly, I knew it was going to do good, so I posted it.
See, I don't know why he would say that at the end. I knew there's a slim chance, but I knew it would do good. That shows that, and this has nothing to do with the rest of the stuff, but that shows that he is willing to lie if it does well. He's willing to dramatize it if it does well, which that little, that one sentence kind of scares me a little bit, especially about him, because, he has, I don't know, I don't really like that he said that. Well, I knew it was gonna do good, even though the banning the account wasn't that big of a deal, but it just shows something. It shows that there is some sort of crack.
But when this event occurred, I was not in a clear state of mind, and I do apologize for my part in that. I made the mistake of surrounding myself with too many people who only cared about likes and monies. I have also been told directly by someone that one person who is very vocal against me online came to them and asked them to make a story about me and lie about a certain situation. Thankfully, this person came to me and said this person had asked them to lie and that they wouldn't do that to me. To this person, thank you so much for choosing honesty over clout. Unfortunately, majority of the people in my life who were my only friends, who were only my friend if it meant to gain online attention. I would also like to say that I have taken accountability for the people that I did hurt, who I was able to contact. These apologies were made before anything was even brought online, which I do have messages and proof of if I need to show those, but I do need to remind you guys that it is illegal to post private conversations online, which is why I'm being so careful with what I show you guys. But this story that they've created about simply wanting an apology or to get justice is not the case at all. They used my mistakes as a way to get clicks while simultaneously turning very serious topics into jokes.
The problem is that sometimes an apology isn't enough. If you let's say these are somehow true, like most of them are true, every detail is true, an apology may not be enough. If you are actually dangerous, more people need to know about it. So you can't always act like everything is only about clout. Maybe some people did want to let more people know.
I'm sorry that I have to make a second video about this, but this is a very serious topic and I want to get bulk of what I want to say out in one go. So I'm going to continue reading what I wrote. I do not have to apologize to the entire internet for allegations on my name that don't have proof, but what I do owe you guys an apology for is how I let myself turn into someone that I've been very against. I'm sorry for the bad decisions I made and the kind of content I started pushing out while struggling with addiction. I never intended to be famous in the first place. When I started this account, I was 41, flip it around. I was a 41, flip it around, year old girl who posted videos about her own mental health journey and realized that through this app, I was able to reach and help other people just like me. I wish every day that I never started using substances, but substances aren't the only thing to blame in this situation. Growing up, my boundaries were never respected, and thus I was never taught to set boundaries for people or for the internet. As a 61-year-old girl, I started sharing every detail of my life with everyone online. From the second I woke up to the second I went to sleep, and I was never told that that was wrong. I do apologize for not knowing or doing better. My mental health, physical health, schoolwork, personal life, friends, and everything was set aside at the expense of content creation.
Since this clearly isn't an apology, can you at least bring some evidence to the table? I mean, I get it, sure, the allegations have no proof, but name a lot of S to the L cases that actually do. It's hard to prove this in a court of law. Like, it's hard to prove this type of stuff. What are they supposed to do? Like, check the security cameras in your room? Like, I'm just so confused. How would they get proof? I'm so tired of people speaking out against other people and then the fans or someone's response to that being, well, there's no proof. Yeah, how are they supposed to prove it? Can you explain to me how they're supposed to prove it?
I am sorry for all the people in my life which I overshared online. Posting on TikTok saved my life at first. I had built a community of support and a place where I could fall back to when things in the real world were too difficult. Along the way, an agency reached out to make money, and this is when people in my life became very involved in my account. Suddenly, it didn't matter if I had homework or if I wanted to hang out with my friends because I had an ad to film or TikToks to film. Sophomore year was when I started Snapchat, in which I had to post 100 to 200 times a day, every day, for 6 months. This was where I started having bad episodes of derealization and dissociation constantly. I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror. But obviously, no therapy was given to me because that would just stress me out worse, giving me less time to film videos. I am not trying to blame the people around me or victimize myself in this situation.
Except you are. You haven't even said the word say. This like entire time. Am I wrong? Or she's talked about the stuff she's taken, but she hasn't even talked about the situation. Her entire thing so far has been like, yeah, I've kind of been struggling with stuff for years, my mental health, which I get it, that all sucks, but you need to talk about the actual situation. And yes, you are victimizing yourself. Yeah, I agree. Your parents should never have made you film ads. You were way too young. I am strongly against that. I think that no kid should be forced to do any form of social media. That is wrong. I agree. But once again, like, does that justify any action now because your mental health is bad? I'm just so confused. Like, why are we talking about this instead of what was actually done? Like, this is the second part, and she still has not even mentioned any of the events. All she does is say some people lied about me, so kind of summarize it all as clout chasing.
Simply trying to give you guys some perspective as to how or why things got this bad. I take full responsibility for the fact that I didn't speak up or get help for myself sooner, and I apologize for everything that I decided to put in my body and how my actions hurt others. There were adults around me that should have made responsible decisions, but there were so many decisions that I should have made to help myself. I didn't realize how serious the effects of shoving everything aside for the internet had on me, and I didn't realize that wasn't normal because I had started to only become friends with other kids who shared the same job. While in rehab, it was my first time having space from social media and my phone since the 2nd grade. I didn't have to work a job for the first day in years. It took multiple adults and helpers in that facility to realize that as a 71-year-old, it shouldn't have been my responsibility to worry about supporting myself or my family at certain times. I sacrificed my high school years to bring joy to people online.
You know what, guys? I'm going to do something awful to get myself canceled. I'm going to accuse some random other YouTuber of, like, doing something awful to his girlfriend. And then when you all come for me, I'm going to say, well, I've sacrificed all my summer and school hours after school to entertain you guys. Why are you all coming for me? Like, I'm sorry once again, but you're supposed to be talking about the situation. You're not addressing it at all. And this is smart. I will give her that. It's not like the best morally thing to do. I don't know if morally is even a word, but like, it's smart to dance around the situation, because if she actually says, I'm sorry for saying my friends, maybe they're all lying. Who knows? There's obviously, once, like she said, no proof, but she's not really like providing proof there wasn't. She's not really, the fact that she's not even covering it is a little suspicious in itself, because she's just kind of dancing around it. I don't know, maybe I'm going crazy.
If I missed even one day of posting, I would come back on my phone with thousands of messages of people asking why I didn't post that much that day.
Okay, she is talking about when she was 71, flip it around, I'm pretty sure in this particular part. You have TikTok. Like, I'm sorry, but like, ignore the messages. I mean, this is legitimately annoying me at this point, because she's not actually talking about the situation. Ignore them. If I took a month break and people were messaging me, like, that's just, like, what does this have to do with anything? Ignore the messages and move on. Who cares? Once you post again, they'll be fine. Like, you can control what you post. I feel like maybe I'm just being a jerk. I don't know.
A lot of you guys have been DMing me saying that you miss my content or asking when I'm going to post again, and my answer to that is to be determined. I genuinely do have a passion for helping people, and I do love creating videos, so I will probably keep making content, but not to the same extent as before. Having to post the amount that I did every day made me feel trapped, and I quite literally went insane. I think I need to take more time to continue working on myself and changing things in my life before even worrying about the online stuff. I am finally getting the mental help that I have been needing that has been put off for so long. Also, I would like to say that I could care less about the amount of followers or likes or attention or whatever, because that's never been about what content creating was for me. A lot of these people who have posted, mind you, many videos of this situation on multiple platforms like to claim that I'm the type of person who only cares about the money and likes, but I ask you guys to see past these words and look at the actions of these people. I could have very easily turned this situation to be used for clout or profit, but that's not what I wish to do, especially with something so serious at all. If you don't want to see my face or hear from me again, that is completely okay. Please block my account and save both yourself and I the trouble.
I will be honest, this entire situation is very, very strange. A bunch of the victims' statements were released and then deleted. A few of them, I believe, I could be wrong, don't quote me. Capri's response was deleted, but all of them, obviously, someone screen recorded and reposted, and Brad's response was deleted. In no way am I saying their statements aren't true. It's just like a little strange that they were deleted. There's probably many different reasons for this. I'm not sure, but that is something to be noted.
One thing I would also like to clarify right now is that I have yet to be posting anything since these allegations have came out. So any account that's pretending to be me or making statements about the situation is not true. I also am not communicating with anyone in my personal life about things involved with the situation. So anyone claiming that they have information or that they're in contact with me, they're just simply seeking attention. I ask you guys, please do not buy into every single loop that you see online. The day I got canceled was the first day this year that I had looked up from my phone, and while my entire life was falling apart around me, I turned off my phone and made eye contact with people for the first time. I think that there are many lessons to be learned from all of this. I genuinely have not been online very much since going to rehab, and I'm not gonna lie, I only saw the videos for the first time yesterday. For anyone who cares to know, I am now in the care of adults who are taking steps to get me the help that I need. To the adults that went out of their way to help me, thank you so much. And to the people who have stuck by my side during this, thank you. You seriously have no idea how much that means.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I am a little sad and annoyed in a way, and I'm sure the people that made the statements, the victims, are even more annoyed for obvious reasons than me, that she didn't really touch on anything that happened, didn't go into detail, didn't show much evidence at all. Very little evidence was shown. But I am glad she is claiming to get the help she needs. That is a step in the right direction, I suppose. So that is one way she improved herself. I just wish that she had actually talked about the situation. But it does make sense because TikTokers and TikTokers' audiences don't have the longest attention span. So a lot of people have already forgiven her, even though she did not even cover the situation.
I'm about to go to bed. There's one last thing that I do want to say before I go to sleep tonight. Honestly, one, thank you. I think that the response that I'm getting is way more positive than I expected, and especially talking to the internet, which at times the internet can quite literally make you feel like humanity is doomed. I'm very appreciative of the kindness of the response and also very surprised.
So she released another response to her response and like how her audience perceived it, and she says she's surprised. I'm not. Like, people are this way with every situation. I swear, James Charles is a perfect example of how you can do anything, and if you talk the right way in a response, people will eat it up and will support you no matter what you do. Like, she didn't really go into depth with, once again, I'm glad she is getting help. Like, that's a step in the right direction, but she didn't really cover anything. And, I mean, she made some decent arguments, but once again, she didn't really go over much. She just kind of all blamed it on you-know-what. She blamed all of the things she did on that, and then proceeded to talk about why she was stuck to taking that type of stuff, which I get it, like, that is important context, but she should have probably gone over the things that she was accused of and stuff, instead of just kind of summarizing it as clout chasers.
I apologize for oversharing so much of my life online. Please don't harass every human that has ever interacted with me because they don't deserve, taking any of the harassment because of my actions. Good night. And thank you.
And she does kind of touch on how she can't talk about certain things because of legal reasons, so maybe that could be a reason, but she mostly focused on, her friendship with one of the girls that spoke out, and she mentioned that she couldn't talk about that. So I don't think every single situation, she can't talk about legally. I think it is just one of the situations, and it wasn't the party situation. So it seems like she is avoiding it, which, once again, it makes sense logically. It's not obviously the thing she should be doing, but people just ate up her response. It was positive. There's a positive response to it.
So Ashley Barnes posted her apology video last night, and it was around 10 to 15 minutes long, so I summarized it down into very short terms. Please note that I did not get every part of what she said because I wanted to be as short as possible. Ashley said that she was off her phone for a while she was in rehab, so that's why she did not make an apology video. She said that when she was spotted in Target, she was getting things for rehab. She says that the situation was heavily layered and the situation was being taken out of proportion. Ashley was saying how people were lying on her name just to get clout. She also said that some people exaggerated their stories in order to gain a shock factor. She then says that she has photo proof that she can clear her name with, but she's not allowed to post them because it's illegal and she doesn't want to bring people down like how people brought her down. She was in a very bad mental state, and she said that she was doing substances every day no matter what substance it was.
So I don't think that legal reasons really cover it because, yes, she did mention one particular situation, like a friendship with, once again, that one girl who brought up a story. She can't because, like, for legal reasons, talk about that situation, but she can talk about the party and other incidents, but she's saying she doesn't want to bring them down, which just doesn't make sense to me. Maybe it could be true, but, like, if someone's lying about you blatantly, I don't care. Like, it's not really bringing them down to prove that you're innocent. So I just feel like that could obviously, I'm not 100% sure, but that could be used as an excuse to just excuse yourself.
Yo, did that actually launch to leave her apology? Because, like, if the things that she was saying are true, and if she's really innocent, I mean, why would you delete them? That's just, like, you can't, like, the hate comments you're getting to you?
I'll be honest, I don't think she deleted it. I'm guessing it was something with, like, tons of people checking her account, tons of, like, maybe reports, because every time she posts something or does something, she gets mass reported. Her account's been taken down multiple times, and if you look it up right now, I could be wrong, it could be back up. But last time I checked, it wasn't up. So my guess, something with mass reporting, your account got taken down, and then her apology got taken down with it, if I had to guess. Even though, once again, she did get a lot of people on her side, of course, there's still a lot of people that are like, hey, you didn't really address anything.
Hey guys, it's Ashley Barnes. I just wanted to get on here and apologize for
What are you apologizing for?
the last 3 months of my life.
Anything specific?
No.
This was made way before the apology recently dropped a day ago or a few days ago, and it's crazy how accurate it is. Anything specific? No. She nailed it. I mean, Ashley doesn't talk about anything specific, and I'm not going to pretend like she's the only, like, one wrong in this situation. We don't know, obviously. There's no way to ever completely know. There's definitely some people that are exaggerating. She isn't wrong about everything. Some people just lying for clout, blah, blah, blah. But, like, she literally did not, like, go into depth about anything. She just kind of said, yeah, I was on stuff and I did bad stuff because I was on stuff. And once again, like, that is very awful, and she's very young. There's a lot of things that people should not have done. Like, there's a lot of people in the wrong. It's not just her, but, like, still, like, you got to go over the actions you were accused of and explain stuff, and that was a little annoying.
You guys are so mean. Like, what happened to positivity? What happened to coming together as a community? What happened to mental health? I'm not the same person I was when I started posting these videos. Like, growth and, like, change and whatever. And, like, I understand mental health. Like, just because now I have 1 million followers doesn't mean I'm not the same person I was when I started posting these videos.
So are you the same person or not?
I'm in my recovery journey, and I'm starting to realize I don't want to accept defeat. Anyways, I know I talked about nothing for the past minute and a half, but I'm just sorry about whatever you guys are mad about.
And once again, she did mention she has a manager, so there are more people behind the scenes that could have helped curate her apology. Not saying for sure, but, like, it does make sense, like, once again, to not go into depth. Like, that would just cause tons of backlash, let's be honest, because if you really think about the things that she's accused of doing, and if you truly believe that she did those things, I mean, it's hard to forgive someone who does those things, even if you're, quote, under something, or you took something before you did it. So, like, it makes sense if you don't want backlash, or you want as little as possible, to not go into depth at all. But, like, still, like, I mean, that's what you're supposed to do in your response. But she did kind of take the James Charles route where you don't really mention what you did and you kind of just dance around it. And then you take it to some other perspective saying, like, these are real people. You guys are just using us for clout. People are just using the situation for clout, and it's a real situation. That's the same exact route James Charles took, and it worked for him. Like, no one seemed to really care. His career moved on perfectly fine, like it does every time. So I guess if you study James Charles enough and start copying him, you can pretty much get away with anything. And to be fair, there's more than one people wrong in the situation. It is really weird. I have to be completely honest that Capri was like, yeah, I posted it because I knew it would do well. he has staged a lot of situations in the past. I'm not going to pretend like he didn't. Obviously, when he gave his statement, I was super respectful, and we always have to listen to the people, the victims, talking about the situation. But it was really disappointing, and once again, I believe he did delete that. But, like, dude, why would you admit to that? Oh, I posted it. I knew it could likely be false, but I posted it because I knew it would get views. Then, I mean, in that same logic, he could pretty much everything he does and says could just specifically be for views. He knows that it could likely be false, but he says it because it'll get views. And that is something you likely don't want to admit to. So while Ashley's response wasn't great, it definitely was far from, like, good or anything. I definitely would not like it, but of course TikTok ate it up. A lot of people on TikTok. Not everyone ate it up, but a lot. But yeah, it did lead to some people admitting some stuff and some responses that kind of painted them in a worse light than before. I still believe Capri. I still believe that the events happened. I'm just am annoyed that he admitted to posting something specifically only to get likes. That's annoying. Like, I just don't, like, understand that logic. Like, oh, it could have been a blatant lie, but I still posted it because I knew it would do good. I'm just like, I'm really sorry. I know I'm repeating myself, but, like, why would you admit that? Why would you ever admit that on camera? That is an awful thing. Imagine saying that in court. I was lying about her, Your Honor, but, like, I knew it would get some views. It was a little annoying. But, yeah, once again, let's say Capri is, like, making up some stuff, which, once again, not saying he is, but I'm just annoyed that he admitted something like that, then he would be painting actual victims in a very bad light. So, this situation is very strange. This is likely going to be my last video on it. There aren't any major updates other than this apology, so we're going to move on to the next topic. But yeah, definitely a strange situation to talk about, and I hope all the victims are able to heal and get better in the future, because this is a pretty traumatic experience. And what did you think of the response? Let me know, and I'll see you in the next one. I am tired.